Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to SBPL Storytime and Craft. Yes, we do have a craft ready for you guys today. I cannot wait to do it. Also, we have a really fun story for you guys. But before we get started, boys and girls, I gotta remind you, summer reading is here and it is easier and better and more fun than ever before. All you have to do is go to sbpl.readsquared.com or download the Read Squared app onto your iOS or Android device. Sign up for summer reading. Adults, teens, they can sign up for it too, and we're giving away a lot of prizes this year. All you have to do is read. Read whatever you want, however much time you want. The more you read, the more chances you have to win. So download the Read Squared app today or go to sbpl.readsquared.com to sign up for summer reading. But we gotta get to your challenges. I challenged you this week to draw a picture of a beach scene. A scene with the ocean and waves and the sand and maybe a crab or two. Whatever you want. Palm trees. And let's take a look at what you guys made. First up, we have Ashvika, who drew this beautifully colorful beach scene. Look at that. That is fantastic. Thank you so much, Ashvika. And Hans shared this awesome drawing of the ocean and the beach. Oh, you know what? I got to get to the beach right now. Guys, fantastic job. You guys always amaze me. You are such fantastic artists. Without further ado, are you guys ready for our opening song? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, stomp your feet, stomp, stomp. If you're ready for a story, stomp your feet, stomp, stomp. Well, it's time for us to read, so sit and listen, please. But if you're ready for a story, stomp your feet, stomp, stomp.
Oh, I think this book is called The Stump for Nicholas. What?
You think so?
The Stump for Nicholas.
The Stump for Nicholas, you know, that story. Well, it is not The Stump for Nicholas. Actually, today's story is called Ada Twist, Scientist. Are you ready to read? Let's do it. Ada Marie, said not a word till the day she turned 3. She bounced in her crib and looked all around, observing the world but not making a sound. She learned how to climb and make her big break, with a trail of chaos left in her wake. She ran through the day chasing each sound in sight, and didn't slow down till she conked out at night. Her parents were frazzled, but tried not to freak, as Ada grew bigger and still did not speak. Clearly young Ada, with lots in her head, would have something to say when it ought to be said. That's just what happened when Ada turned 3. She tore through the house on a fact-finding spree, and climbed up the clock just as high as she could. Her parents yelled, "Stop!" as all good parents would. Ada's chin quivered, but she did not cry. She took a deep breath, and she simply asked, "Why? Why does it tick? And why does it talk? Why don't we call it a granddaughter clock? Why are there pointy things stuck to a rose? Why are there hairs up inside of your nose?" She started with why, and then what, how, and when. By bedtime she came back to why once again. She drifted to sleep as her dazed parents smiled at the curious thoughts of their curious child, who wanted to know what the world was about. They kissed her and whispered, "You'll figure it out." Her parents kept up with their high-flying kid, whose questions and chaos both grew as she did. Even Miss Greer found her hands were quite full when young Ada's chaos wreaked havoc at school. But this much was clear about Miss Ada Twist. She had all the traits of a great scientist. Ada was busy that first day of spring, testing the sounds that make mockingbirds sing, when a horrible stench whacked her right in her nose, a pungent aroma that curled up her toes. "Zowie!" said Ada, which got her to thinking. What is the source of this terrible stinking? How does a nose know there's something to smell? And does it still stink if there's no nose to tell? She rattled off questions and tapped on her chin. She'd start at the start, where she ought to begin. A mystery, a riddle, a puzzle, a quest! This was the moment that Ada loved best. Ada did research to learn all she could, of smelling and smells, both the stinky and good. One hypothesis Ada thought could be true. The terrible stink came from Dad's cabbage stew. She tested and tested, but soon Ada knew it was time to come up with hypothesis 2. Then, zowie! The stink struck again, just like that. Hypothesis 2, it's caused by a cat. The cat couldn't make such a stink on its own. It needed perfume and some fancy cologne. So young Ada tested. The test was a flop. She started again, but her parents yelled, "Stop! Ada Marie, to the thinking chair now, by the time we count 3. Enough, said her mother. That's it, said her dad. Her parents were frustrated, frazzled, and mad. Why? Ada questioned. Her mother said, "No." What? Ada queried. Her father said, "Go. You've ruined our supper, you've made the cat stink. Enough with your questions, now sit there and think." She looked at her parents. Her heart turned to goo. Poor Ada Twist didn't know quite what to do. She sat all alone by herself in the hall, and Ada once more could say nothing at all. And so Ada sat, and she sat, and she sat, and she thought about science and Stu and the cat, and how her experiments made such a big mess. Does it have to be so? Is that part of success? Are messes a problem? And while she was thinking, what was the source of that terrible stinking? Ada Marie did what scientists do. She asked a small question, and then she asked 2. And each of those led her to 3 questions more, and some of those questions resulted in 4. As Ada got thinking, she really dug in. She scribbled her questions and tapped on her chin. She started at why, and then what, how, and when. At the end of the hall, she reached why once again. Her parents calmed down, and they came back to talk. They looked at the hallway and just had to gawk. No patch of bare paint could be seen on the wall. The thinking chair now was the great thinking hall. They watched their young daughter and sighed as they did. What would they do with this curious kid, who wanted to know what the world was about? They smiled and whispered, "We'll figure it out." And that's what they did, because that's what you do when your kid has a passion and heart that is true. They remade their world, and now they're all in the act of helping young Ada sort fiction from fact. She asks lots of questions. How could she resist? It's all in the heart of a young scientist. And as for that smell, what can Ada Twist do but learn all she can with her friends in grade 2? Will they discover the stink that curls toes? Well, that is the question. And someday, who knows? And that is the end of Ada Twist, Scientist. And I love that story so much that that's what I want to do for my challenge. I challenge you to do a science experiment this weekend. Doesn't have to be a messy science experiment. Doesn't have to be a big science experiment. It could just be a fun, small science experiment. If you need some inspiration, go to our YouTube channel and check out our stay-at-home science episodes with Miss Allie. We have like 12 or 13 of them now. There's so many, but you can totally check some of those out. Do a science experiment this weekend. Take a picture of what you've done. Take a video of what you're doing. Send it to us. I will put those on next week's story time. You got all weekend to do it. Don't make too much of a mess. And if you do make a mess, try and help clean up. But right now, it's time for a craft. Miss Jen, you're up. It's craft time. Are you ready?
Hi guys, Miss Jen here with this morning's craft. I don't know if you can tell what this is. Check him out, check him out. He's long. He has a lot of sharp teeth for snapping. Snap! If you think it's an alligator, you guessed right. If you think it's a crocodile, you guessed right. It could be both. So I'm about to show you what you need. Okay, along comes Mr. Alligator, quiet as can be, and he snapped that monkey right out of that tree. Okay, here's what you need. Scissors, a marker, some white paper, 2 pieces of green paper. If you don't have it, I'm lucky to have some right now. You could use lots of green markers and crayons to color in an extra white sheet, and that'll work too. And maybe you can even collage your white piece of paper with green things. Okay, so now we're gonna go step by step. Okay, so let's get started with Mr. Alligator. As you can see, he has an accordion body, and he has a very snappy mouth, and those are the 2 parts we're gonna start with. So first you get a piece of paper. If you have green, yay, it's the best. Fold it in half lengthwise, and then you're gonna cut so that you end up having 2 pieces lengthwise. One you're gonna use for that body. So, some of you have already made accordion folds and you know how to do it. Some of you may need some help, but I'll kind of give you a little demo. I know we've done it with other crafts these last couple of weeks. But you begin with a fold, and you're going to try to fold them about the same length. Fold, and you're folding them kind of front and back. I hope I'm making it clear. And then fold again. Turn around if that's easier to say. Fold. You're just basically going to keep turning it around and folding it. You'll end up with something like that. Maybe I'll show you one more time. There, you start out like that, right? Take an end and fold it down. Then you're going to take the next piece and fold this top piece down. And then you're going to fold this next piece up. It's kind of up and down, up and down. And this one down. And this one up. And this one. And this one. And this one. Takes a little practice. All right, so we have a body. We need a head. So remember, we started out with 2 strips of paper, right? First the one sheet, we cut it in half, and one half became the body. This half is going to be that snappy mouth, okay? So you wanna fold it in half, right? Like that. Here's the fold part. That's where you're gonna start your cut, okay? So, I'm gonna do it for you right here. Now remember, you can, if you wanna trace like a triangular face, that's fine, or you can freehand it, and that's what I'm gonna do. You can just take a marker or pencil and kind of draw it yourself if you want, but here goes nothing. Take a corner. Taking a corner, I guess you can see, right? And you're gonna kind of go to the center like you're making a triangle, but when you get to the top, you're gonna around it. You can do it pointy too, it doesn't matter, but I wanted mine rounded. So now you end up with that. And snap. So that's that. Let's go on to the next part. Okay, so let's attach the body to the head. I forgot to mention glue. You do need some glue. And what you're going to do is glue like a little bit down here at the edge. Because remember, this is the pointy part where he's going to do his snapping. So glue that to one end, either end, obviously, of the accordion fold that we made. So there's that. And then once it's glued together, you'll have the snap, snap, snap. So just a little glue on the bottom and glue it together. All right. So let's do the next. Okay, this little guy, Mr. Alligator, needs to have teeth to bite, right? So that's what we're doing next. As you can probably see, I glued the top, I glued the bottom. Gluey, gluey, sticky, sticky. Leave that open. Take your white piece of paper, fold it in half. Take the folded end, and he's gonna eat it. Snap. And then we just want it to be glued together so it can't fall out. Look, he ate that paper, even without teeth. Now we're gonna make the teeth. The way you do that is take your marker, and you're gonna do any old way you want, however you think his big teeth are gonna look. Maybe they'll be big, maybe they'll be little, maybe some big, some little. All the way around his jaw, just on the one side. And then once you have it all around, it'll look like this actually. Let me show you. Something like that. It's a little crooked right now, but it would be like that. And then you cut, cut, cut with your scissors all around. Some people like to just freehand it, and actually that's what I usually do. But it's up to you, depending. You might want to have more precision and have them all the same, size or whatever, and be able to cut on lines. So you could do it that way. So you cut out the teeth rather, and the teeth are going to end up being not just on the front, but on the back, because remember, it's folded. And in the end, Mr. Alligator looks like this, see? Snap. Snap. All right, no snapping. We still need some things, right? We need eyes. We need some little alligator legs, and we need a little alligator tail. It's a triangle, basically. So that's what's next. You ready? Somebody's looking at you with his little alligator eyes. These are so easy to make. All you do is cut out 2 circles, any size you want. And as you can see, I didn't trace them, if you look closely. You do that, and then you're gonna need to make these little pupils, right? So then you put some white in there to put in the center of your circles and glue it. And then you might wanna have there's a little pupil. This guy though, my guy, had like smiley eyes. I thought that was kind of cute. So you're gonna put those on. And the way you would do it is start with the green circle, fold just a tiny piece at the bottom. See that? It's not even much. To make a little flat end. All right? And then you're gonna glue that flat end on so that, just the flat end, sorry, there you go. So he's winky. He can wink. Just for the top. So you're gonna do that and then glue the white on, and then we need legs and a tail. That's next. Okay, this little guy still needs his legs and he needs his little tail. So you're gonna take another green piece of paper. In all, you only need 2 green pieces of paper and 1 white piece of paper. If you choose to just color your white paper green because you don't have green paper, then you would have 3 pieces of white paper. Okay, so let me show you what's next. Take that last piece of green paper, okay? You're gonna fold it lengthwise like we did for the first time, remember? And then you're gonna cut off, and it doesn't have to be exact. I'd say like 1/3 of this piece of paper, about here. Half would be about here, right? 1/3's gonna be kind of up there. You don't have to measure, it doesn't matter, because this top part is going to be the tail, and the bottom is gonna be his legs. So, we go snip. We're gonna do this for his tail. Now this guy is gonna be for his little legs. So it's still folded. You're gonna fold again. Just like that, 4 folds. 4 folds. And then you're gonna start cutting from the pointy end. The pointy end. And I'll show you, I actually traced my leg to show you. I free-handed it when I did it for myself. But you are going to start cutting, if you decide to just freehand it, from the pointy end where there's no fold. And every piece is pointy. Okay, and there should be 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'll just show you how I free-handed it. Take my scissors from that corner. I just cut off a corner, basically. And then I kind of rounded it, cutting up, around, and down. And then you'll see this. Looks like a dog bone, right? These are the 2 legs, which you will glue underneath Mr. Crocodile. I don't know if you can see that. You glue that on. Any one of the folds, glue it on, and then These will be his little legs, so you're gonna fold them down. Rather this way, I guess. Fold them down. Now he has extra legs. But if you want to trace it, here I did tracing it. And again, you start at the pointy end where all 4 pieces of paper are pointy. Pointy, pointy, pointy. And then you're gonna just do it right here. I'm cutting that line all around. It's actually like, if you want to think of it this way, when you trace, it's like a little boot, or I don't know, an L, a J, depending. But then you've got your 2 legs. I'll show you one more time. Okay, here's his face. Here's his tail. I'll show you the tail too. But his legs, you glue under. And what you're going to glue, the part you're going to glue, is just this center, the long straight piece, because the end pieces are his little feet. So you would take this after putting glue on any one of the folds, glue it, glue it, glue it, and then glue that there. And then you've got them, And then you want them to point down like I did there, then you would fold. So I hope that's clear. Fold once it's glued. Remember, glue there. And then turn over, and you're gonna fold his legs down so his feet are walking. Boop, 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 boop. Tail time. Okay. Remember that piece of paper we cut off just now? We took a full piece of paper and cut off a third, about a third of it. And this is the piece we cut off. You don't need both sides. It's just what we have left. You can either make a sort of triangle. Remember, we're making his tail. That's what this is. If you want to draw it first, you can, or you just freehand it. We all know how to make triangles for the most part. If you need help, ask a caregiver or a big sister and big brother. And then that's what glues on the end. Put it under or over, whatever you want to do. All right. I hope you liked it. I hope you make it. And I hope you bite somebody with him. Take care.
Thanks so much, Miss Jen. All right, boys and girls, that's all the time we have for story time today. I hope you enjoyed your craft. I hope you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to do a science experiment this weekend. Take a picture or a video, send it to us for story time next week. And of course, summer reading is here. Go to sbpl.readsquared.com or download the Read Squared app. You can win so many fun prizes this summer, and it's real easy and a lot of fun. And tomorrow we will be doing story time together live 11 a.m. If you would like an invitation, send me an email. I will get you an invitation today so you can take part in our fun live interactive story time. But that's it for now, boys and girls. Until tomorrow, stay safe, stay wonderful, and we will see you next time on SBPL Storytime. Have a great day, guys. Bye.